Hey everyone, just let me move the screen a little bit. Right, we've got some people in the chat right now.
Mhm.
Okay, hi everyone. This is Henry here. Right. We haven't done the webinars for quite some time right now, and I've invited Yash right from Clientjoy to share with us because they have some really nice updates that's been coming to Clientjoy. I'm in your Facebook group and I see a lot of updates that are keep coming.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited about Clientjoy. I've actually done a review of Clientjoy. If you like to, you
Mhm.
can visit my channel. I think that Clientjoy, has a very very nice workflow. You have, your sales pipelines. When your leads come in, it flows in nicely. You have your booking calendar, which is, I believe, a quite a new feature. So, and then you've got your email inbox, which is also a new feature.
Mhm.
Everything, it's all in one. You have the invoicing and everything. I think the entire workflow is very good if you are a into sales, you are a founder or a salesperson, and you are the one working on the sales process, and you just want to focus on that sales process itself, none of that, project management stuff, to confuse your team. Then I think Clientjoy is a great solution, right? So, so maybe Yash, you would like to introduce yourself.
Mhm. Sure. Yeah. Thank you, Henry, for the kind words and having me today. Hello, everyone who's watching this. My name is Yash. I'm co-founder and chief executive at Clientjoy. Clientjoy is basically a platform that helps agencies and freelancers manage their complete client life cycle, starting from their leads to proposals, contracts, invoicing, payments. All of those things happen in one single place. And we serve more than 4,000 odd agencies and 9,000 odd freelancers and creators, a total of about 30,000 odd users in 90 plus countries through our platform. And so that's a very quick introduction of the platform that we're building.
Awesome, right? Uh, well, I mean, we've got some comments as well.
Mm-hmm.
Uma is,
Mm-hmm.
saying that the Clientjoy is still buggy. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
you would like to address that later, right? Towards the
Yeah.
end of the stream, right?
Yeah.
Of course, Clientjoy is still constantly improving. I mean, if you have a
Mm-hmm.
platform that is always updating itself at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
on one hand, I think it's awesome because you're getting more value out of the service that you are using. But on the
Mm-hmm.
other hand, having more features would mean that sometimes certain things might not work correctly as
Yeah.
well, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I think that if sometimes when you jump into a software in the early stage, you
Mm-hmm.
get a very good deal out of it. But at the same time, you have to also take note that things may not work correctly 100%
Yeah.
of the time, right? And that's why you are jumping into the service early, in the early stage, right? um and I
And so
think one.
if I can address this just a little bit. So Umar, we've been
Yep.
working on the proposal module for some time, and we've applied a lot of fixes, right? And so there have been other platforms in the proposal quote contract space that have been around for, some of them are around for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years also. As Clientjoy, our product has been on the market for less than 2 years, and we've not just built proposals, but we've built a fairly strong sales pipeline, proposals, invoicing, payments, client portal, all of that in. And I'm also going to show you a couple of things that we're going to build in the future. However, if you've come across a bug, do share that with us, the problem that you face, and we'll fix that. Right, we'll fix that as quickly as possible.
Yep. Right. So I think something that warms my heart when it comes to Clientjoy is the I see your ads around, right? I see that you guys are, actively not just growing the product itself, but also marketing you're already in the growth stage as well.
Mhm,
A lot of new SaaS that comes up, they seem to only focus on the development process, but
mhm,
a lot of them are actually not marketing the services, which I find on one hand it's quite a pity, because you see very good tools that you're using, but at the same time you're kind of worried whether they're going to be sustainable. But
yeah.
if Clientjoy is actively marketing themselves, running Google
Mhm,
ads, putting out a lot of content as well. If you are in their group, you can see Yash and your co-founder is actively posting updates, and not just updates, but posts that gets a lot of engagement,
yeah.
trying to connect with your current users. I think that's a very good way to get people who are already subscribed into your service to
Mhm,
stay on, because they benefit from the value that they get from Clientjoy, and at the same time, it keeps them actively reminded about Clientjoy so that they keep using it, right?
yeah.
So, so Yash, maybe you want to answer this question as well. Since you have taken one already, we
Yeah,
have
yeah.
a Wall right here who says that he had a funny experience with Clientjoy.
Yeah.
They say it's custom pricing based on users. So
Yeah.
he says, I thought it was $100 per user,
Yeah.
and then it later quote me two users plan only $100 less from the posted
Yeah.
LTD. Right. So
Yeah.
maybe Yash, you would like to address this?
Absolutely, and so thank you, Sajal, for that question. Right? Here's what our journey has been. So we started with offering $49 for 5 users at once in our very early stages, and right now on the website you will see a list price of $499 for 5 users. But I want to be very clear over here. Right? As a SaaS product, you don't really know how to price your product, right? So what you're trying to do is you're trying to reach out to people, and when people talk to you, you are trying to figure out where does how much value does the software create for them, to figure out how much are they going to pay you for it, right? And so SaaS is essentially value based pricing. And so what we do is that I or a couple of our team members, whoever is speaking to a customer, we will try to speak to them and figure out the value that client is going to generate for them, and then give them a pricing that works for them. And so it's not necessary that we will have consistent pricing. We are not at a stage where like HubSpot or Pipedrive or anything like that, where we have standardized pricing and we are very rigid. At this point of time, we are trying to figure. So we know that there's a product market fit. We know that people in the agency freelancing community like the product that we've built, and right now we are trying in the pricing discovery space, right? So we are trying to figure out whether people will pay per user, whether they will pay for certain features, whether they'll pay for a lifetime. What are the different models and what are the different amounts that people would be willing to pay? And so it's no surprise that you saw a different price on our website, and we sent across a different site. We currently have ad experiments running, right? So where we are selling the $19 per month pro plan, $190 per year pro plan. Some of them have more users, some of them have branding plus add-on. We also have LTD pricing ad experiments going on, and so it's a journey of discovery that we are on, and you will find different pricing for the software. However, if you want the best pricing, just negotiate with us and then apply Henry 15 as the code has been written over here. Whatever pricing that we give you, it Henry 15 is essentially going to get you a 15% off on that.
That's awesome, right? So, if you are looking to jump into Clientjoy, they are you can still get another 15% off of the pricing that they quote you as well, right? So, Yash, what would you like to share with us today? about Clientjoy.
Sure. So thank you for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, so Clientjoy has a lot of features, but since we have some amount of time constraint, what I want to do in this call is I want to make you as a potential lead and then take you through a journey of becoming a client and making your first payment, right? And that's primarily what I want to do, and make sure that people kind of know and feel how easy and simple it is, not just the usage of the software, but also the use cases that we'll be highlighting for you, right? So can I just share my screen?
Yep. Go ahead.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yep.
Awesome. So I just go to the leads module. So let's say you reached out to us over social media, and you're looking for and so I'm running a digital marketing agency that offers SEO services, and let's say you're looking for that, right? And so I'm just going to write Henry Ltd, just as your name, and this as the email. I'll just leave the phone and those. And I'll say that the source is, let's say, social media, right? Now, if I want, I can fill in all the other details. I can say, okay, this one has to point new inquiries. The privacy is public. I want to say the conversion probably is 60%. And let's say the deal size is $1,500. Over here, you can also create your own custom field. So if you want to capture certain other information about the lead, when they reach out to you, you can create those as custom fields as well. And so I'll say, let's say, LTD Bros is a $5 million operation, and they are looking for let's say on-page SEO audit, right? That's the service that they are looking for. I want to add billing details and other stuff. I can do that as well. And I can also add tags. Tags are basically flexible items that you can apply to your leads and your customers and to everything that you do on Clientjoy. And so for now, I'm just going to apply a high value tag to this particular lead, right? Now, when I click on save, it creates a lead in the new inquiry stage of Clientjoy. And while we do that, it's important to remember that all the stages that you see over here, these are some of the simple ones that we have created for you when you sign up to Clientjoy. However, if you want to customize this, edit, update, remove, if you want to do anything to these stages, they are also in your control. And so you can it's fairly simple just to go over here, add a new stage, just name it, give it a color, and then drag it to wherever you want. If you want to update a particular, so let's say this is currently called unqualified. If I want to just update it and call it qualified, I could do that as well. And so you can add, edit, update all the stages in your sales pipeline as well. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this Henry's lead that I've created. And the first thing that I see is the timeline. And you will see the timeline over here evolve in a bit, as in when we do more and more activities. And so for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send out an email to Henry saying, so for now, I'll just say what's up, right? So
Right.
I can also add my meeting link. So this is a meeting scheduler, much like Calendly, but this is completely built within Clientjoy. So I just click on my meeting links, which is something that I'll show you in a bit. But so let's say if I want to add this one, I just copy the link. Oops, sorry. This is essentially how the booking meeting page looks like. It's important to remember that this works on your own domain. So this does not say Clientjoy. There's no place where it says Clientjoy. Nice is the logo of my agency. It's called My Nice Agency, and so that's the logo that comes up over here. You just say 1 a.m. confirm, and then just ask for name and email and submit, and then it creates a calendar invite for both of you, right? So for now, what I want to do is I just copy it to the clipboard, and I'll say, I just add the URL. This is the meeting link. And I just make it open in a new window, click on save. I can also track this email. So if you're sending this, so this is basically your Gmail or Outlook over here, right? So if you send it from your Gmail, this exactly behaves like that. But if you send it from your Gmail, you'll not be able to track that email. But over here, you'll be able to track whether Henry's viewed it or not. And so I just click on send. So Henry receives that email, and so I can have an email conversation. Henry will also be able to
I think
respond to this email.
the
Did you get the email? I think you
yeah,
should, right? So, yeah,
yeah,
awesome. And so let's say Henry responds saying, we get on a call, books a meeting, we get on a call, and then he says, looks like a great offering, Yash. Why don't you follow up with me on 14th of February, right? So as soon as that's the conclusion of the call, the first thing that I do is I put in a note, interested in our services. I just hit save, and then I'll click on activities, and I'll add an activity that says follow up, right? Henry, and it's going to be, let's say, a task. I want it to be turquoise in color, and that's supposed to happen on 15th at 2:30, right? And it's linked to this particular lead, and I just hit save. And so what this does is it creates a calendar activity just for me, right? Henry doesn't know because he does not need to know that I've created a task. So as it is, I can see over here that email opened. So it is tracked. So I see that open the email with the subject intro to Clientjoy. So the email tracking works.
yeah,
Since this is a task that I've created in Clientjoy, it's only added to my calendar, and I will be reminded at that particular time. Now, let's say I got reminded at that time, and I followed up with Henry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this task as done, and so it goes from over here, but your timeline becomes richer, right? So as and when you do more and more activities, you see the email was sent from here. I added the note, I added this particular activity, and then I added that activity as done, right? But then in that follow up call, let's say Henry said, I loved what you're trying to do. Let's get on another call on 17th of February. And this time it's a meeting that I have with Henry, right? It's not just me who has to follow up, it's a meeting. And so all of my meetings are red in color. And so I just say meeting with SAS Joy, which is my agency, and Henry. And I say, okay, this is supposed to happen on 17th. And in this one, I want to add them as a guest because I want Henry also to receive this invite, right? And so I just type in Henry, and it picks up the email ID. I added them as guest. I can add other guests as well. And I say, okay, this meeting is going to happen on Zoom. And so I just give my Zoom credentials over here as well. And I keep the send invites checked, and I just send it out to him. So this should send out a calendar invite on his calendar as well. And then at that point of time, he will click on that particular meeting link. We'll have a demo call, or we'll have a conversation on Zoom, whatever the case may be. And let's say that demo call ends with him saying, loud what it is, whatever it is that you guys are doing, send out a proposal. Right? And so I'll mark this task as done, right? And then I want to send out a proposal to him. And so I'll just go over here. I'll click on new proposal. I'll say SEO audit for LTD books. It's going to go out to Henry. I'll click on create. As soon as I click on create, it will do two things. Right? So it will basically open a blank proposal, and then on top of it, it will ask me to choose from either the saved templates that we have, that we as agency have created already, or it will ask me to choose from the template library that Clientjoy as a product has created. Right? So we've got more than 25 odd proposal templates that you can choose from over here, that you can see over here. They'll load in a bit. So you can change a photography proposal, web design proposal, whatever the case may be. For now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in marketing as a category, and I'm going to pick out search engine optimization proposal. So I just use SEO optimization. Another cool thing about the Clientjoy proposal engine is that whatever templates that you have already created, you will be able to use them with your merge fields, right? So it already enters, the lead name, the lead company name, the person who's sending, the company name, which is the agency name over here, and it fills out. Also, sender company is not been added, so it's still yellow, but all of these yellow fields that you are able to see over here, all of these are merge fields, right? And so it basically reduces the time that it takes you to send out a proposal. And so for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually add a pricing table over here. Pricing table is also fairly simple. We have a separate module called items, which is where you can add all the items that you want to sell as a service. And so I just click over here and I'll add pricing table. And then I'll click on edit. It opens up, it allows me to add items. And so since Henry is going to be looking for an on-page SEO audit, I'm going to add that as an item. Now, this item includes one report for $450 and additional VAT of 5%. And so all of those calculations have happened over here. What I'm going to do is, since Henry is a long-time customer, I'm going to give him a 10% off. And it says 425.25, which I just want it to be an even 425. And so I'm going to remove the 0.25 over here. And so it says $425. I hit save. It gets added as an element in the pricing table. And see, again, over here, you're able to see all the merge fields that are here. And I want to send this for signature. Right? So I click on send. Now, when I click on send, it will open up a model where this is the template of the proposal that goes out to Henry. Now, Henry can I can go into my settings and then edit this template if this is something that you don't like. If you want it to look better, if you want to add more jazz into your proposal emails, you could do that by adding all of these in the template so that every time it gets repeated as well. And I'm also going to attach a PDF. Now, Henry, when I send this to you, what I want you to do is you don't even need to use your desktop. On your phone, if you have this email ID already synced, I want you to
Yep.
click on this proposal and then accept it as a proposal, right? So Henry over here is going to accept the proposal. However, let's say if he was going to decline this proposal, then he could click on decline, and then he would give a reason that this is why this proposal has been declined, which is visible to me as the agency owner, and I can make the changes in the proposal, and then I can send that across to him as well. But for now, to keep things simple, and since we have time constraint, I don't want to go into the whole process of updating, but he will be able to. So we are accepting the proposal. So as you
Yep.
can see over here, I start receiving the notifications as and when my lead and my potential customers start opening the email, clicking on the proposal, and then accepting the proposal as well. So I just refresh this page. Yeah, it says Henry opened the email as well, and so I see that so now he's also opened the proposal, not just the email, and so we'll just wait for him to sign the proposal as well. And while the proposal is being signed, what I would also want to do is I'll just take you to the leads page where Henry has already been created as a lead, and I want to move him to negotiation, right? Because that's because he already has gotten the proposal from our side. Now, one of the cool things that happens is that now this journey happens typically over a period of 15 days to 30 days. We're doing that in 20 minutes. And so almost everything is happening within minutes. But on the timeline, you'll be able to see everything that has happened, right? So from the time that I added this lead to the email that I sent, to the note that I added, to the task that I created, to the meeting that I had, to the proposal that I sent him, updated, he opened the email, viewed that email, and accepted the email, accepted the proposal finally. Right? And so if I go into proposals, the same proposal now says that the status is accepted. So I just click on the proposal and show you guys the audit trail, right? So a lot of times it's not as simple as them just opening and signing the proposal. They may open it a couple of times, have discussions on top of it. And so you will also be able to get an audit trail over here where it says, so Henry is in somewhere in Singapore right now. This is not exactly accurate. This is what is allowed to us. And so the country or the state or the region is typically the accurate one, not the city. But so I know where he viewed the proposal from. I know that he's accepted the proposal, and so everything's in place. Now, let's say we did the on-page SEO edit for Henry, and now that service is complete. So what I can do is I can go into my proposal and I can just convert this proposal to an invoice, right? Just by clicking over here. Now, when I click on convert this proposal to an invoice, since Henry is still a lead in the system, the first step is to add him as a customer, right? And so I can convert this lead into a customer. While I'm doing that, it will ask me a couple of things, right? So it will say whether I want to add more company info in terms of VAT number, whether I want to add custom fields that are there for the customer custom fields. And so I'll say experience over here. Size of the company is the same from the lead, and their service inclination is SEO, right? I also want to give him a client portal access, and so I can click over here and I just set his password as a simple one, and I can send an invitation to him. And this way, he also gets access to the client portal. Again, since this is with Branding Plus, it's the highest plan that we have. The client portal comes up on your domain with your logo and with your color scheme as well. And about client portal, we'll again have a separate conversation just after the demo is done as well. We're doing some exciting work over there. So as you can see now, Henry has been converted from a lead to a customer, and this proposal has been converted from an accepted proposal to an invoice. So I just go to the invoice, and what Clientjoy does is that it picks up the item that was created in the proposal and then brings that automatically over here in the invoice, right? So which is the same item that we just created. If I had added the company address and their tax details, they would show up over here. These are my company details. This address is by the way, the Avengers building. But these are my company details, and the items are over here. I can also, in cases where there's a split payment or part payment, I could also update invoice items. So I could say, hey, while the service was going on, he actually asked for a long form blog post as well. And that was priced at let's say $50 or whatever, and that's also added in the invoice item. And I just reduce this, so it's an even 472, right? And I'll hit save. So it adds all of those items. Now, another thing is that typically a client would come to you as an agency or a freelancer, start with a small service, and then enroll you on a monthly consulting practice, right? And so what you want to do is you also want to send out invoices recurringly over a period of every month or 2 months, or quarterly invoices, right? And so what you can do is click over here, and then this is a one-time payment because the proposal was that for a one-time payment, but I could convert this into a recurring payment, right? Oh, sorry, this is the split one. I could convert this into a recurring invoice as well. And so let's say this is an annual contract where he's going to pay me every 2 months. And so I'll say that this invoice has to be sent out to Henry for 6 times, and it has to send out every 2 months, right? So that way it's an annual contract. He will pay me 6 invoices every 2 months, right? I can also add payment methods. So I can say, okay, I don't want him to transfer through a bank. I just want him to pay me through PayPal and Stripe, right? So I just click this, and then what I do is I'll send this as an invoice to him. Now, when I send this out as an invoice, it again opens up the same email template. I can again attach this as a PDF. The system remembers that the first one was attached as a PDF, and so all the recurring instances of the invoice will be sent out as a link in the email and also as a PDF, and I'll send it out to him. And the same thing that happened when I was sending out a proposal will happen when I'm sending out the invoice as well. The only small change is that I'll be able to see the audit trail over here. It'll send out the email with the link. You can click on the link, open up the invoice. The only change that happens over here is that now Henry has the ability to pay me via PayPal as well. And so the invoice carries a pay via PayPal link because we are a preferred partner with PayPal, Stripe, Payoneer, and then we are also partners with Razorpay and InstaMojo. So there are 5 payment gateways, which are some of the most used payment gateways, and we are going to keep adding more and more payment gateways. But as of now, these are the 5 ones. 3 of them, Stripe, PayPal, Payoneer, we are preferred payment partners, and then we have 2 others, which are Razorpay and InstaMojo, which are India specific, are already integrated onto the invoice and onto the system as well, right? And so, Henry, I think you must have received an email as well. Henry, are you there in the call?
Hey guys, some apologies there. Let me just bring. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right. Apologies. I kind of got disconnected there.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. So let me
So,
just bring back. All right.
sure.
So we're here again. Yep.
So when
Yash.
did you?
Yep.
Okay. So when did you get disconnected? So that I can start from there.
Um, I got disconnected where you are at the recurring invoice section.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it. And so the live stream also got disconnected, or it was just you, so that I don't repeat it for the viewers.
No, I think the stream is still ongoing.
Oh, okay. So then it's fine, right? So basically, I said, I've raised a recurring invoice to you. You must have received an email that you can check, open. It will still give me an audit trail of all of your activities that you do on the mail and on and in the invoice, and then it will also. You also have the ability to click and pay via PayPal, Stripe, Payoneer, and all of those. I've only enabled PayPal for you over here, but a client or user can enable a lot more payment gateways as well. I already shared those details, and I can take up more during the Q&A as well, right? So this was a so the idea of this demo was to show you how a lead can essentially progress from them just reaching out to you to them making the first payment. Obviously, this journey is something that we did in like 15 or 20 odd minutes. It typically happens over 15 days or 30 days. And so you have all of your logs, you have all of your, you can give them access to client portal, you can create proposals, send those out to them, you can create invoices and send those out to them as well. And as I shared with you, we have a calendar which is in two-way sync with your Google or Outlook calendar over here. And so if you can, so this is a demo account. This is not actually my account, but you can see that this is the task that I created early on in terms of leads, where I had to follow up with Henry. And again, on scheduler, it is essentially exactly like Calendly. So you can create your own meeting booking links. So you just click on edit over here. What's the location of the meeting? This is the place where you can put in your URL for the meeting booking. Which calendar does it come in? What are the opening hours? So you can choose a timeline, choose a time zone, and then add all of your availability times over here. You can set reminders as to how many times should the reminder go and to which people. You can collect custom fields while people are booking your meetings as well. And you can have paid styles, which is what logo should come up, what's the company name, theme color, and so on and so forth as well. And then there are a bunch of settings, right, which we should not go deep into, but just very couple of important things. So you can create custom fields from the settings where you say, okay, I want to collect custom field in for leads, customers, items, company, or for invoices, and then you can give it a name, and then these are the types of custom fields that you can collect, and you can make it mandatory or non-mandatory. The other important things are payment methods. So payment methods are where you can add ACH, bank transfer, wire transfer, whatever the case may be. And then these are all the payment gateways that you already get by default. We don't charge anything on top of whatever the payment gateway charges. So payment gateway fees are what you pay. There are no fees for Clientjoy involved. You can create multiple currencies over here. So over here, there are 4 currencies that we work in, but you can choose to create other currencies as well. Branding Plus is where you will also be able to add your own logo, your favicon, your custom domain, your own SMTP to send out emails, and so on and so forth. Right. So that's a very quick overview of Clientjoy, and I want to end it with 3 key things that we are going to bring sometime soon. Right. So the first thing that we are going to bring is this is a this is the community that we run on Facebook for agencies and freelancers. And so the first thing that we are going to be bringing in soon are you're able to see my Facebook, right, Henry?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So the first thing that we are currently working on that we are going to bring in is the new dashboard. And so across all the activities that you're doing with your leads, what are the statuses of proposals, statuses of invoices and payments, what are your upcoming agenda items on your calendar, what's the split of leads, how much money is in which stage of your pipeline, who are your top 10 leads, how many leads have you generated, across all the sources, what's it like, how much money have you made, and what has been your chart for the whole year. So this is the first thing that we are working on. The other two things that we are working on that I'd also love to show you are the client portal. So client portal is going in for a very, very big revamp. And so as you can see over here, what we're doing is that this is what the clients will see when they come in. And so this is basically the logo of the agency, the name of the agency, and the profile of the user. And then all of these items that you are able to see in the subheader, these are all embedded links or embedded pages, right? And so dashboard gives them and gives your clients an idea of the relationship that they have with you. Files is a secured file share repository. Invoices and proposals, these are the ones that you've created from Clientjoy. Everything after the proposals, which could be, let's say if you're a design agency, you could be sharing a Figma file with them. You could be having a Trello board. You could be having a developer landing pages, which is basically your dev account. Or you could have your brand guidelines and an illustration document or any copywriting document. So all of these are embedded links and URLs that you want to share with clients. And then the next thing that we are going to bring out fairly soon are lead forms, right? So these are embeddable forms that you could put it on your website, and when people fill out information in these, you will be able to get them in your Clientjoy account, right? So yeah, these are all the fields that are there, including your custom fields, including the fields that are there by default in Clientjoy. You can have design control, you can create a workflow, and then ultimately you can publish the form and then embed it wherever you want. So that's a quick update on what are the things that are possible with Clientjoy, and what are some of the things that we're working on and will be coming out soon.
All right. I think the workflow is amazing with Clientjoy, and especially with the new uh client portal where you can actually embed
Mhm.
links in there. I think that's amazing. Because
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people were asking as well, like, how is Clientjoy different from, let's say, Plusho, which is also a very popular tool. And I think that why Clientjoy is amazing is because it's only focused on that sales process itself. It doesn't try and complicate it with a lot of other different features, such as Plusha,
Mhm.
which is it's quite a massive tool itself. It has a lot of
Yeah.
features built in. So it those kind of tools are great as well because it's really all in one, but at the same time it's also very complex to use if you are just a small freelancer. You probably wouldn't use every single feature as well, and just getting started using the tool itself is a huge hassle to get used to as well. So I think Clientjoy is also great because if you have a sizable business, then the fulfillment of your service or the products is possibly handled by a different team than your sales team, right? So
Yeah.
being able to separate them, it doesn't confuse your team as well. The entire workflow is in a way a lot cleaner. And if you use Clientjoy, as with the new client portal where you can embed stuff in there, then we could make certain let's say our task boards public and embed them into the Clientjoy client portal itself. That way, we
Yeah.
can have the best of both worlds, in without being overly complex like many other tools like Suit Dash or Plusho itself. So that's why
Yeah.
I think client joy stands out in this manner without being overly complicated, right? I have a couple of questions as well while going
Sure.
through the entire demo. Is the embed feature for the booking calendar, right? um
Mhm.
is that a new feature? Because the last time that I checked it out, I think there wasn't an embed feature yet. Am I right?
Yeah, so it is something that we shipped fairly recently, but it was such a small update that we didn't announce it. We make a lot of smaller updates in the product that are not worth an announcement. And so you're correct. When you did the review, we did not have the embed feature. It just worked on a link. But then we knew that we have to bring the embed feature, and so we just shipped that. I think about 4 or 5 weeks ago.
I see. That was amazing, because
Yeah.
I was looking to put all my features, all my needs into one single tool, right? Which I think
Yeah.
Clientjoy tries to fulfill that as well. But I do have a request: is there a way that I can embed the all the different appointment types into
Mhm.
one single, just like the booking page itself? Is it possible
Mhm.
to not just embed that one single appointment type, but the entire page itself?
So that is something that we don't have as of now, right? So just so that we are on the same page, I think what you're trying to say is that if you have three different types of meetings, right, where you say 30-minute intro call, or let's say 1 hour partnership call, and 90-minute demo call, or something like that, and you want to embed and offer the option to the visitor as to which one do they want to choose, right? That's
Yeah.
something that we don't have as of now, but we will be bringing that out soon as well. So as of now, you can only share link or embed that specific meeting itself. So it could be 30, 60, or 90-minute, whichever one that you have created. And you have to send those individually, but we will be coming out with a place where you can embed. And so basically, a visitor can choose any of the three options or five options that you have.
Awesome. And because you have such a, openly integrated tool, right? Will you be
Mhm.
adding any APIs for the booking features as well?
So we basically, what we do is we have a separate team that works on APIs, and a team that works on features. And so the API team follows the feature team. And so as soon as the feature is released, the API team kind of starts working on it. And so you will see that there are APIs for almost every feature that ClientJoy has, apart from the booking one, because that's the most recent
Yep.
one that we've released. And so once we release, I think the lead form or dashboard, whichever comes up next, we will, by that time, the API team will catch up, and then we'll have ones for booking engine as well.
Awesome, because I'm definitely looking for the API for that so that we can connect it with Pebble Connect and maybe send me
Yeah,
a notification through other means as well,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I think those are my questions.
Mhm.
Also, what I saw when I was actually looking at the proposal was, I saw that you have the a live chat feature that was embedded onto the
Yeah,
page itself. So that is
yeah,
actually embedded onto the client portal, so that
yeah.
whenever I send out proposals, invoices,
Mhm.
will that live chat, the widget, be in there as well?
Mhm. Yes. So not within the proposal, but in the client portal, right? So in client portal, we have two things. So the first is custom scripts, and second is custom CSS. And so if you're on the if you want your client portal to look different, if you want to add more color to it, if you want to make the forms or buttons better aligned to your brands, then you can use custom CSS and make it exactly aligned with your brand. And then we've got custom scripts, and so custom scripts you can use to add Google Analytics, Facebook Pixel. You can use to add intercom or talk.to or drift, whatever chat clients that you want to use. You can put in Hotjar. So basically, any tool that gives you a JavaScript, you will be able to put that in client portal. So you can also put in a Mailchimp form or a MailerLite form if you want. So anything that works with the JavaScript, you'll be able to put that in custom script, and it'll show up on your client portal as well.
Yeah, I think this is amazing as well, because we could maybe even put in like a WhatsApp, button in there, so that
Yeah.
easily,
Yeah.
the client have a question about the proposal itself, which happens very
Yeah.
often, right? I mean, we send a
Yeah.
proposal in, and then we the client has a question about a minor detail, and if they are able to easily reach us, then it's easier for us to close the sale as well, right? I think that's
Yeah.
a great idea, that a great feature that you guys have as well. So
Yeah.
maybe we could take some questions as well. So because I
Yeah.
kind of lost my stream, so but some of the comments are in the post itself, right? So I'm just going to higher workflows. I'm just going to read some of the questions, so maybe you can cover them as
Sure.
well. So so Sibu right here, right? He asked, can I create agreements on Clientjoy? Can I create agreements
Great question.
on Clientjoy?
Awesome. So there are two ways to create proposals, and so one of the things that we've done is we've actually made a mistake by calling proposals as proposals. Actually, you can use proposals to send out obviously proposals, quotes, and contracts, right? And so contracts basically agreements, right? And so one of the initiatives that we will do, it's currently on the back burner, and it's not like number one priority as of now, because there are a lot of features that we're working on. But one of the things that you will also see happen this year is that we will convert proposals into what we call as docs, right? Which is documents. And so even as of now, there are two ways to create and send proposals. I only showed you the way where I created proposal in Clientjoy and send it out. But then there are cases where you could be a design agency, or you could be a digital marketing agency who has created a very, very heavily designed proposal, right? It could be a presentation, it could be a document, it could be a Figma file or an Illustrator file. And so there's no way you can recreate that within Clientjoy. So what you can do is you can upload your designed proposal, wherever it is that you've designed. You can upload that as a PDF and then send it out to your leads and clients as well. And that will carry the signature field from the Clientjoy proposal. And so you could either create an agreement within the proposal feature and send it out for signing, or and this offered me the opportunity to talk about the other upload and send proposals or documents as well. So or you could just get a PDF, upload it over here, and then track that proposal or document or contract or estimate or quote as well. And so absolutely, that's possible. We sign our contracts via Clientjoy itself.
Awesome. So Sibu has another question. He asks, Clientjoy's website says I can try the CRM without even putting my name, let alone credit card and other details, right? So Sibu
Yeah,
wants to test out Clientjoy. How does that
yeah.
work exactly?
Yeah, so what we've done is one of the things that we were seeing was that no matter how minimal or how well designed the software is, it's still a lot of things for a person to check out when a person signs up to Clientjoy, right? And so what we did was we basically made the whole Clientjoy software publicly accessible. And so if you go to explore.clientjoy.io, it will show you how your agency could look like in 6 months. And so there are 20 leads created, there are 10 customers created, there are 30 proposals created, and 15 invoices created, and payment gateways have been integrated, and all of those things. And you don't need to submit your email ID as well. You don't need to give us your email ID, no credit card, no nothing like that. Just go to explore.clientjoy.io, or click on the button that we have in our website, and you'll go to a Clientjoy that will give you a picture of how your agency could look like after 3 or 4 months of usage of Clientjoy. And it's a demo account. Obviously, you'll be able to do everything that I showed you in this demo as well. Just that it will refresh the data every 12 hours, right? So you lose the data that you've created, but it will give you an experience. And from then on, you can go ahead and if you like what you see, you can go ahead and sign up to Clientjoy as well.
I think that's a brilliant idea, that people can experience the entire
Yeah,
software, because a lot of times they solutions give us like a trial, and I think trial is good, but sometimes when we start using it, as in
yeah,
we are busy people, we run businesses,
yeah,
or we have jobs or whatever it is, and signing up for a trial, yes, it's maybe 7 days or 14 days, but
Mhm.
we don't have the time to actually fully explore the platform, while you
Correct.
allow the entire you open up the entire experience of Clientjoy without even
Yeah.
having to sign up or anything. People can
Yeah.
jump in there and start trying it out, right? I think that's
Yeah.
a great way for people to test out Clientjoy. And then
Okay.
we've got more questions as well.
Mhm.
Seshwa asked, is Linkjoy by you guys as well?
Yes. Linkjoy is by us as well.
So what kind of plans do you have? Because I believe a couple of months back you did mention that you may try and integrate Linkjoy with Clientjoy.
Yeah, so not integrate. It is already integrated in that way, but we're going to merge LinkJoy and ClientJoy, right? So one of the biggest feature requests that we have in LinkJoy is for people to add their team members, and then the second one is for people to add their clients, and then give them a view of how their assets are doing, right? So let's say if I'm a digital marketing agency, and if you're my client, I've created a bio link page, I've created an Instagram link in bio, or I've created short URLs and for URL retargeting and stuff like that for you. And as of now, what I have to do is at the end of every week or every month, I have to create an Excel sheet and send that out as a report to you, right? So Excel sheet from Linkjoy, and then send it out as a report to you, which is not really a good way to go about it, because it takes up a lot of my time in that way. The other thing is that for small little edits, right? So for, let's say, a small edit like changing a link or changing a description somewhere, you will have to send out an email to me, and then I will have to go into Linkjoy, find that page, and then make that edit. And so this was one of the major requirements, which was where they said, allow us to add clients, and then give them access to those particular assets, so that they can see it and see the analytics, see the performance, and then make some small edits as well. And so then we took a call, right? So in ClientJoy, we already have built client portal, we already have user roles and rights. And we also know that there are some ClientJoy users who would want to use Linkjoy. We also know that there are some Linkjoy users who might want to use Clientjoy. And so the merging, primarily what that will do is for exclusive Clientjoy users, it will give them access to the free Linkjoy plan. And for exclusive Linkjoy users, it will give access to the free Clientjoy plan. And then they can upgrade, downgrade, or whatever they want to do. But for Linkjoy users, it would mean unlimited clients at once, and a very, very, very rich client portal as well, that I just showed you. So the next step for us is to implement the embeddable client portal, which I showed you a while back, and then we'll start with the merging.
Awesome. We have a question here from Pranav, right? He asked, I have a LTD plan of Clientjoy which I purchased during Black Friday. I wanted to ask, is it possible to track emails? If yes, then how? Right. So I think Yash did cover this in the stream
Yeah,
itself. So once the stream has ended, I believe you can just jump back into the video, right? Because the post is still going to be there. You can check it out again. There is just a checkbox
yeah.
when you send out the email. There is a checkbox to ask if you want to track the email itself. Okay.
Yeah, so you can track the emails. Just very quickly, we've not yet announced that feature, because we typically launch a feature and then wait for a couple of days to see how that is received. And then once we have some amount of data, if there are any tweaks that are required to be made, we kind of make those tweaks and then launch that. So we'll be announcing the launch of that feature in the next 2 or 3 days. But yeah, you can do that. Yes.
Awesome. Right. So we've got some comments as well. This is from one of the participants, right? Because I can't view where this comment came in. It says the
Okay.
new dashboard looks amazing, much needed. I do agree as well. It's definitely a step up, right? Because a lot more analytics and information that we can just grab through the dashboard itself, right?
Yeah.
Another comment says, Pranav says, right, 10 in 1 tool, superb, right? I
Thank
think
you.
it's not just about 10 in 1 tool, but it's just 10 in maybe 10 in 1 tool just on the sales process itself, so that you are not
Yeah.
confused, you're not overwhelmed by too many features. Like a lot of people, they don't know if they, people, a lot of people are asking about stuff like suit dash and all that in my group, right? And sometimes it's too complicated, too complex, because there's too many things to set up. Just to
Yeah.
start using the software itself might take you like 90 minutes, 2 hours, just to get things going, right?
Yeah.
So with Clientjoy, because they've got demo data in there as well, you see a lot of Game of Thrones references. I guess your team loves Game of
It's a
Thrones.
big fan. Yeah.
Yeah. So because you've got that demo data in there already, you kind of know what to 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 do in Client
Yeah.
Joy. At least that was my experience, right? So we have Alex right here. Alex Player, he says, I've been using Client Joy as my primary CRM since 2020 and love seeing it continuously grow. But even I have learned some new things today. Thanks for that. Love the program. Quick question: in the client portal, can we add our own links into the because his comments are a little bit long, let me just continue on it, right? So into the navigation for the client, example, if we
Mhm.
want if we have a file sharing platform on a third party platform, I
Yes.
yeah, I could cover that a little bit. So I guess with the new update on the client portal, you can embed those links onto the platform itself. Maybe Yash can elaborate on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this is, just to be clear, this is something that we are going to ship in the near future. It's not yet live. I just showed you like an internal design mock-up for that. But so what you'll be able to do is, for each and every client, there will be 3 or 4 tabs that are common. So which are the client drive common ones, which is dashboard, invoices, proposals, files. So they're the common ones that you will get. Then you can create certain tabs that are there for all your clients, right? So you will say, okay, a Notion document which just says, welcome to my nice agency, right? And so it is just some information about you, which is a tab that all of your clients, existing and potential, should be able to see. And then you'll be able to create embeds or embeddable elements, essentially, for each and every client separately. Right? So I'm working on a brand design project with this particular client. I'll just create an embed of Figma file for them. I'm working on SEO, so I'll just bring in some URL from Ahrefs or some URL from Google Analytics, and I'll just embed that over here. Another important thing to remember is that it essentially works like an iPhone. So the URL does not, if the data that you have added is sensitive. So as an example, it's let's say data of Google Analytics that you want to bring over here. The URL does not need to be public. If it's public, it's great. But if it is not public, it will just ask the client to log in, and if they have access to that URL, they'll be able to see. So basically, if I've created Google Analytics and given you access to that particular property on Google Analytics, I just bring in that URL over here for whatever filter that I've created. And then when you open your client portal for the first time, it will ask you to log in, and then it will remember you. That's it. So URLs don't actually need to be public, and so because some clients or some agencies would not want to make their Trello boards public or that Asana projects public, right? And so they can still be private. If they're private, and if the other person has access on Asana, then they'll be able to just give their Asana credentials over here, or Trello credentials, or whatever Ahref credentials, and then just log in.
Awesome. I think that's even more brilliant, right?
Yeah.
I think that's about it that I do have one more question. Would be
Mhm.
I see that the Client Joy only has one sales pipeline, right? So I think one
Yeah.
sales pipeline is great because for closing one single product or one single service,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
sometimes we want to close clients on multiple services
Mhm.
as well. So maybe I
Yeah.
sell an SEO service, and then I want to sell Facebook ad services later
Yeah.
on. So they do need to go
Yeah.
through another pipeline as well. So do you have plans
Yeah.
to bring that out as well?
We do have that on the roadmap. We've not yet put a date to it, but we do have that on the roadmap. And let me share this with you, Henry. This is a challenge that we ourselves face, right? So we ourselves use Clientjoy to sell Clientjoy, and then we ourselves want to use Clientjoy to sell Linkjoy as well.
Yep.
And and we are not able to do that because we don't have multiple sales pipeline. So we have currently implemented a workaround using tags and using services and all of those things, but it's not elegant. It's not how it should be. And so we do have plans. This quarter is filled up with dashboard, client portal, and lead forms. And so we've not yet given the date. So it's definitely not happening before March 31st. But we have that on the short term roadmap, and we'll be working on that as well.
Awesome. So I guess that's all I have to ask. But maybe before we close off, do you have anything else that you want to share? Maybe ClientJoy is working on other than the client portal features.
So yeah, so absolutely. So there are, so as of for up until March 31st, lead forms, much better embeddable widgets on client portal and the new dashboard. These are the three key things that we're working on for up until March 31st. And then in terms of the short term roadmap, just following that, as you also said, multiple sales pipelines. We'll be making the dashboard also a lot more richer. Another cool thing that we'll be working on is email sequences. So you can basically click a lead and then enroll them into a sequence of 4 or 5 emails, saying, hey, how are you, or whatever the case may be. And if the lead in the middle of any sequence, if the lead responds, they'll be taken out of the sequence, right? So if so, which is typically how sales pipelines or sales CRM sequences also work. So that's another interesting thing that we'll be working on, bringing in those sequences over here. Another thing that we'll also release, oh sorry, I forgot, before March 31st is that we are going to do a native integration with Dropbox Drive and OneDrive for the files that come up in proposals and even the files that are being shared in with your clients. And so that's also additional one thing that we'll be working on. And then there are certain other things that we're working on, which are our growth related things, right, which are not from user standpoint, but we're going to be bringing out a referral system. We just moved from our payment gateway from Fastlink to Stripe because Stripe is just much better, smarter, and faster. And so there are certain other initiatives that we have going on, which are just for us to serve our users better. But then from customer facing feature standpoint, these are the 3, 4, 5 features that you'll see in the short term.
Awesome. I guess that's all I have to ask about ClanJoy, and I think it's highly feature rich. I would say, um, I would say that in terms of the sales process, right, the sales experience is just so much more convenient. I just remembered one more question as well.
Mhm.
Previously, I think a lot of users were having problems with the iOS mobile app as well.
Yeah,
Has
yeah.
that been resolved?
Not yet. So parts of it has been resolved. The other part is something that we are still working on. So there's a separate, we're a fairly small company. We just have one person who's working on our both Android as well as iOS applications. And so that will be resolved fairly soon. And I'll come into the community and make the announcement that, hey, it is working fine now. And when I say soon, I mean in the next 15 days. Right? It's not like a couple of months. We are very, very
We
close
should see it,
to identifying.
working properly by the end. I mean, end of this month, also, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. It should be. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Personally, I mean, I use Android, so I don't have a problem with that. So it's working. It seems to be working fine for me. I haven't had any
Yeah,
issues. So those of you who are using, an iPhone, just take note that if you want to start using it on your mobile phone, it is not possible right now. Right.
yeah. It will
Okay.
be in the next 15 days. Yeah.
Yep. So I guess that's all we have to talk about Client Joy. They do have their lifetime deal ongoing right now. It's 499, but you get 15% off the LTD price. Um, you just need to enter the code Henry 15, right, and you get
Mhm.
15% off, right? So this, the link is over here, right? go.decisivemarketer.com/linkjoy, right? That's my affiliate link. So if you sign up, I do make a small commission. As you know, if you sign up through me, it's a good. I would appreciate that. You for wanting to support me for bringing link joy to you, right? So I guess that's all I have to share. Thanks Yash for your time, and hopefully we will have more you know webinars on some of these tools that I'm sharing with all of you as well. And thanks
Yeah.
Yash, right? Bye bye. I'll see the rest of you in the next session of this.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. And everyone, thanks for the question. Keep using Clientjoy. Keep us on our toes. Push us to perform better. And we will deliver. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.